扣了，我知道它的训令是什么。
Alright, guys, welcome to the MSI MGA Pacific Championship Dota 2. This is the Malaysian qualifiers, and I will be your caster for today. My name is Mona Ming, joined by me is Hishiko as well as Katasaurus. Girls, please say hi.
Hi.
I believe I heard Katasaurus, but Hishiko's still a bit quiet there. Are you there, Hishiko?
Hey, hi there.
Yep, so we are your casters for today, and this is the match against Oli, as well as Fantastic Gaming Dota team. Not too sure what's going on with the tag here, but they are death before defeat versus OLI. So yes, Hishiko, apparently you are friends with a couple of them. Why don't you introduce your good friends?
Yeah, I'm like friends with Oli, and on the Radiant side, I'm only friends with both of them, which is RK and Mao Zai, Space Creator.
Ah, okay. So what are their MMR? May I know?
For FDG, I think the average MMR is above 6k. For the Radiant side, which is death by bit, I think the average only 5k plus.
Ah, okay, so a 6k stack going up against a 5k stack here, but MMR, sometimes can be just a number. Seeing how teams composition as well as their teamwork, communication, stuff like that could actually, just beat the 6k stack. So we don't really know just yet. So now we want to hear a little bit from Katasaurus. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Katasaurus. What else would you like to know?
I'm not sure. Do you know any of the players on either of the sides?
uh, no, not that I know of.
Ah, okay. I've heard a little bit about Dali though, the 1 + 1 = 2 Dali. Apparently he's a
Mhm.
6k stack as well. And not too sure about their team composition just yet. So let's just move on to the draft for now. We can see a standard textbook band, the OD, as well as a Sand King, as well as a Bat Rider and a very uncommon silencer band though.
I
You know,
guess they would want to go with a lot of big, really important spells that they don't want Silencer to actually interrupt that. Or maybe that they know that someone plays a good Silencer. It's hard to tell.
right. I believe what you say, you have a point there. The Warlock Chaotic offering would definitely be a problem, if you get silenced up. The 5-second silence, the up to 5-second silence could actually, be very detrimental to the Warlock as well as the
Yeah,
possible other
because
hero picks, right?
mm, yeah, because Warlock isn't the kind that is able to run away too quickly. So Disruptor and Juggernaut definitely those that can chase down heroes like Warlock or even other slower heroes. Disruptor is able to send people back. So having a silencer against their lineup would be a bit difficult to kite.
Right, very true indeed. So what about you, Hishiko? What is your take on the draft so far?
I think that the center one and the silencer band is a bit unusual, but I don't think it's not a. I don't think it's a very good band.
Yes, indeed. This is one of the first times I'm actually seeing a Centaur being banned out, though. I mean, obviously he's not really in the meta, but there is a probability that a player on the side of OLI is very good at the Centaur. We don't really know just yet, though. And we see another textbook ban here, Shadow Demon. And I'm actually very, very surprised how the Shadow Demon make it through the first banning phase.
Yeah, I know. It's like it's more sensible to ban out the Shadow Demon first before the silencer.
Right, exactly. So looks like the Morphling will also be banned out here on the side of Fantastic Gaming. So for the convenience sake, we will just call them Fantastic Gaming. I believe they are OLI and we call them Death by Defeat. Was it true, Hishiko?
DVD.
Yeah, it's DDD, Death by
Okay.
Defeat. And actually, the OII thing is called Fantastic Gaming Dota team.
Okay. So it will be Fantastic Gaming going up against Death by Defeat then.
Yeah, that's
So,
right.
okay, cool. So, Shishiko, what are the kind of heroes that you would like to see here? We see on the side of Death by Defeat, Warlock, as well as the Slada. What kind of hero, could actually help pump up their draft? Okay, aside from the Ogre Magi.
I actually think that they lack a mid laner and carry now, and I think that maybe the Invoker will be great because when Slada stuns and amplify damage, Sunstrike would be probably amplify the damage much more.
Ah, okay. And then with the Warlock to follow up as well with the Chaotic
Yeah,
Offering, could be,
with
a
the
huge
flutter
problem.
bombs.
Okay, so we've heard from Hishiko, and now for Catasaurus on the side of Fantastic Gaming, Juggernaut as well as a Disruptor. Do you think the Juggernaut will be a mid Juggernaut or a carry Juggernaut this game?
I
It's
think
very
that
hard to tell.
probably
I think they
Juggernaut is
have to
going
wait until DVD picks up a mid or a core before they
Okay,
actually
predictions,
determine.
predictions. Mid or carry?
to
Let's see how on
prediction.
point you are.
I would say mid.
You say mid, okay.
I will say carry.
Okay, so we have one on the side of a carry as well as a mid laner. So we'll see which
don't
girl will actually
don't
be triumphed here.
don't call us for dinner again, huh?
So the loser for
No,
this
no, no.
prediction will have to
Doesn't
treat
work.
me and the winner for dinner. Wow, how nice.
No, it's not gonna work that way.
So me
Because
being a
from what
mid.
I see, usually from them playing the ranked games,
Yep.
I think that probably only will use the Juggernaut as a safe main hero.
So
Yeah, because
looks like
Shishiko is more familiar with the team.
yep. So
Yeah,
looks like Catasaurus might have to buy us both dinner though.
Oh, I'm
but
so
I'm not
sad.
too sure because they are quite versatile.
Yep, so we'll have to see. It looks like they're taking a little bit more time for the third pick here, with only 55 seconds down on the reserve time for them. So Disruptor as well as the Juggernaut, what kind of heroes will synergize well? Any one of you would like to answer that?
I think that Invoker will be probably the best choice.
Oh, okay. And Invoker probably, they might actually leave it for their final pick. But we see the Die being picked up for Fantastic Gaming here. So there's a lot of team fights going on. The Disruptor, the Static Storm, paired up with the Tombstone coming out from the Undying. It will be very, very chaotic for the side of Death by Defeat. And we see a Magic Immune Life Stealer that will be in play here.
Yeah, the rage would definitely be nice. And then along with the oh, okay, so
Oh,
the
here comes the Timber.
uh yeah, once the life stealer gets an armlet, like is it's easier for him to stay in fights, even against an undying.
Yep, definitely true. So we see a Timbersaw being the fourth pick on the side of Fantastic Gaming here. So Timbersaw typically run as a mid or an off lane, but the games I've been casting so far, I've been casting the games Execration going up against Beneski earlier on. I always see DJ on the Timbersaw here. But like I said, Juggernaut possible mid hero, Timbersaw another possible mid hero. You can see the kind of mind games Fantastic Gaming might be playing around with. So they don't really the players on the side of DBD are not really able to the pinpoint the exact mid laners that Fantastic Gaming might have installed for them.
It's possible that the Timbersaw might go offlane as a carry, and then they will pick up another mid as well. It's very hard to tell, but so far it seems that way because I don't know, it just feels that way.
It just feels like women's
Yeah.
intuition, they say. So it's very possible, like Hishiko said earlier on, the Invoker is still available for both the teams if they want to go for it. They are both possibly lacking a mid laner. For DBD, more obvious than Fantastic Gaming, of course. And now their final pick, their final bans, Mirana has already been out of the pool. And now Fantastic Gaming will be banning out the Storm Spirit. So let's see their final pick here. They have a total of about 60 seconds left.
They're both gonna need mid players, so I mean mid heroes right now.
Yep, so
There's very less of mid hero there, and as far as I'm familiar with, that Dali is very good with the Tinker, and Oli is good with the Storm, but they ban both of them.
yep, indeed. And we see a Naga Siren being the
On the last
last
stage.
pick for Fantastic Gaming here. So we're going to see a Naga mid, a Jack probably on the safe lane, and a Timbersaw on the off lane there. So I'm not too sure what are you girls taking on this. Naga Siren, normally a more dragged out game. You want to farm up your Radiance. Might not be a good idea for the Juggernaut because he could possibly be starved. You have to understand when the Naga Siren comes online with the Radiance and the Illusions, he's going to be farming up the jungle, going to be farming up the lanes, and the Juggernaut may not have a very, very good time. But we have to see how they actually, share out the whole resources on the map.
Or maybe the Juggernaut can go for more kills instead of the farm because he has the Disruptor and the Undying supports.
Yep, and a final pick, a Medusa. Looks like that this will be the hero to counter the Naga Sirens. Earlier, I was about to say, they really have no counter towards the Naga Siren illusions. More so being that all four heroes, or the four earlier heroes on the side of F for DBD, are actually very, very single target oriented. But the Medusa will definitely counter that. So guys that have just been tuning in, this is the first game, Fantastic Gaming going up against Death by Defeat. We are your casters for today. My name is Monoming. Joined by me is once again Catasaurus as well as Hishiko. So girls, let's get this game on the road.
Mm-hmm. Or what? Okay, so let's kind of like start introducing the player.
Cool. Why don't Hishiko intro one team, and Catasaurus you can intro the other.
Okay, I introduce the FG, which Fantastic Gaming starts with the first guy, just like it, which Jack Lee, and the second Oli, and the third one, which I'm not familiar with. I'm not sure who's that, but maybe we can call him Chris. And the fourth one would be Mune, his in-game name, and the last one would be Dari on another side.
All right, so on the Radiant we have who's this? 我表的就是眼 on the Ogre, and then we have Carry or Feed on the Knights. We have Unguarded on the Medusa as well as Zergato on the Slaughter, and lastly we have Space Creator on the Warlock. So you're seeing on the bottom lane the smoke has been revealed, and they're trying to go onto the Ogre, but the Ogre does have
Oh, the
a bit
Ogre
of
is
an
caught,
armor to tank it
and
up,
here comes the
but
first blood.
Alright, so the last hit actually going towards the Disruptor. That's going to be an easy boots for him early in the game, and looks like the smoke coming up from FG did get the better hand of DBD. Earlier on, DBD did actually opted for a smoke. Unfortunately, it was a bit too early, and no objectives were gained.
Yeah, I think their objective was to just place down the wards on the mid lane.
Yep, they have actually one very quite a deep ward there, and we can see even the Disruptor rotating towards the middle lane, just planting up a high, um, quite a decent ward towards the mid lane as well. And now the laning phase will begin. So let's check out the items.
You see the Undying on the bottom lane though, so it won't be a. So we're seeing. Oh, okay. So this is a Juggernaut mid. Great. I got it right. Actually, from the start.
Okay, so Hishiko will have to treat us for dinner then. Oh well.
I actually thought that they would have the last pick mid, but then they picked up another Siren, and then I was like, ooh, okay, this is hard to decide now.
Okay, so I have to treat Nicole for dinner.
So I believe it's because of the last pick of the Medusa that actually, possibly might have changed the lineup on the side of FG.
Yeah, it'll be a bit difficult if the Naga Siren got the mid against Medusa. It's not that easy to go up against.
Right, so meanwhile, we can see in the laning phase, on the top lane, we have Dali going up solo against the Disruptor, as well as Zergato on the Slada. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, we can see a lot more action going on. The Timbersaw, Quizer, as well as just like it on the Undying, will be going up against the Trilane Space Creator, Carry of Feet, as well as the Ogre Magi. In the middle lane, we have Unguarded going up against Oli. And right now, looks like Quasar M is having a lot of trouble here. No more spells actually cast. Ogre is only at level 1, does not have the Fire Blast just yet. And now we can see just like it, trading blows with the Ogre Magi. Not too sure if it's a very, very, wise move there. He is much lower on health.
Yeah, not only that, it's the armor that Ogre has. It's 8 armor. It's definitely very hard to play against. And the Fatal Bounce just now really took down a lot of Timbersaw's HP. So
I think that the magic stick would be probably a good choice on the warlock because there's an undying it's standing his first skill.
Yep, the Decay definitely be able to rack up a lot of points in the Magic Wand or the Magic Stick for now. So we have the Ogre Magi picked up the Arcane Rune, gonna be able to spam out a lot more spells with the buff here. Meanwhile, we can see Disruptor will be rotating towards the top lane, trying to create a little bit of space for his carry there. Slada nowhere to be seen. Zergato, being pushed out of lane for a while, will be just gonna be Iron Taloning the camps nearby the tier 1 tower at the top lane.
As you can see on the mid lane, Oli is pulling the creep towards his tower, which is called the lane controlling. And I think he's doing a good job controlling the lane.
Right, but we can see in the last hits and denies right now, Naga Siren is definitely leading in top last hits with 15, followed by the
Top lane a
Medusa.
bit.
Yeah.
Top lane is probably going down. Yeah, he just went down to a disruptor.
So the Disruptor actually had no points into the glimpse, didn't even need it. Didn't even need
Yeah,
it. The kinetic
the
field was
thunder
enough.
strike as well as the kinetic field just, and then you have the ensnare, and then you have the riptide to minus the armor to minus the armor of Slada, and Slada is not a very tanky hero. It's like he does have a stout shield, but with the minus armor, he's quite easy to take down, only sitting with like 700 health.
Right. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, we can see a little bit more action going up again, going up as well. The Tombstone unfortunately has been deleted by the Lifestealer. Just 3 right clicks melted down so fast. Was a defensive Tombstone though, and we can see the Decaying dealing so much damage towards the Lifestealer there. Almost half of his life was gone just because of one decay.
Yeah, but the Warlock does have his heal, so that kind of makes it a bit easier for Knights to put on the aggression.
Meanwhile, on the top lane, I think the Naga is having a free farm. With the Slugger is going to jungle.
I think Slada, it's a bit difficult for Slada to actually to secure the lane because of the disruptor zoning.
Yeah.
Oh, and the Medusa unfortunately did not secure the rune there. A perfectly timed glimpse, was just able to thwart him away from getting the double damage rune. Imagine denying the Medusa a double damage rune. This is, it's not exactly something game changing, but small things could
Yeah,
actually, make a huge difference in the end.
yeah, she could have zoned the Juggernaut a lot more just by having that DD.
Right, so earlier I haven't actually asked much of a question for the predictions, so I will just, go ahead and ask it now. But let's hold that thought for now. The Tombstone in the bottom lane has been deployed already. And now we can see the Whirling Death hitting on towards the Ogre Magi. He just have a little bit more mana to spam out if he wants to, just like it. He is now under the damage of the tower as well as 3 heroes. A little bit too much out of position there, and looks like he will fall to the Warlock.
Definitely not a good idea to aim the Ogre Magi first.
Yep.
Yeah, Ogre Magi has a very high armor.
But
Yep,
it's
high
also
armor, high
difficult for
life
them
too.
to move forward to catch the Warlock first because he's so far behind. He's been standing behind Knights the whole time, so I don't think they had the choice. They wanted to make use of the DD rune, but Disruptor having a DD rune isn't going to do much. He's not a very good right clicker anyway, so.
Indeed, and Ogre Magi also had a magic stick. I believe it was used earlier on, now back to 0 charges. So, like you said, not actually the best, target to go on, especially just like it having no mana at that time as well. So maybe a little bit of a miscommunication there, hoping that the Timbersaw might actually, move in. But now in the middle lane, we can see the Juggernaut getting the kill onto the Medusa though, but might have to pay with his life here. Ogre Magi with one more right click will secure the kill. So yes, back to my first question, girls. Just based on the draft alone, who do you prefer in terms of the draft?
I think the FG maybe has a higher winning chance because the Naga can actually grab even if FG loses a team fight.
So what about Nicole?
Yeah, in terms of team fight power, of course DVD is better, but it's very hard to tell, I think. Really hard to tell because it depends on how well they execute the draft. If they are able to catch out the Naga Siren more often, like once the Slada gets his Blink Dagger, you just go hunting for Naga Siren. It's very hard for them to actually do any Red Dota or get a lot of farm on the Naga.
Right, and meanwhile we can see the lane dominations already moving on. Naga-san with 48 last hits compared to the Lifestealer, the carry counterpart with only 32. So we can see who is actually having the better lane Moreover, but the Medusa is having a slightly better time compared to the Juggernaut in terms of last hits. So game still pretty even. 7 minutes, 3 is the score, and now we can see the top lane, Ogre Magi moving forward, trying to go the kill onto Dali here. Now, do we see the crush coming up onto the? Yes, we do. Dali. A couple more right clicks, the amplified damage will definitely, play a big part here. Now he salves up, tries to run. Ogre Magi is still following him. The M damage buff will definitely, just secure the vision that he needs and will get the last kill. Last hit, sorry. And now Zergato being chased down by the Disruptor. Not gonna make it though.
I think the FG should actually pressure more on the Slardar. If Slardar have a dagger, it's actually quite dangerous because it can combos with the Lifestealer.
Right, the Infest Bomb, like Hishiko
Yeah,
mentions,
the Infest Bomb. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said like if the Sada actually gets his dagger, it'd be difficult for FG side to do anything worthwhile because they have to be protecting the Juggernaut, they have to be protecting the Naga at the same time. So it really depends on how well they can control the offlane so that Slada doesn't get his farm.
Yep, so meanwhile...
It's easier, yeah, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just thinking that it's easier for Slada to come online just with a dagger, but if it's a Naga Siren, she would need more items, like maybe... And then a Radiance is more expensive than getting a big dagger, so that's one thing. It depends on how well they press onto the lanes.
I agree on that, but I think that FG should actually farm and avoid fights for now.
Right, so meanwhile on the bottom lane we can see the Timbersaw, having a lot of heat on him. Now being open wound up, Tombstone has been deployed, just a bit of defense there. Now carry of feet will proceed to move backwards. It looks like Cursor M doesn't want to go for the kill though, but Disruptor has the glimpse up. No Static Storm for now, only a level 4. Being healed up. Carry of feet, does he make it out alive here? Pops the rage, will be able to walk out away, but looks like just like it might be the one to pay with his life though. Very, very low on health. A couple of right clicks left. Now even the Medusa coming to the fray, throwing out the mana snake here. The Mystic Snake, sorry. And looks like the Timbersaw might fall. No, still in a glimmer of health. Will be able to walk away.
The Juggernaut came in with a DD and just cut down the Knight so fast.
Right, the Omnis
But then that
Slash.
means also a free lane for Slada as well.
So overall,
However, I think that wasn't a good trade because FG lost 3 of its member, but defeat, only has lost a Lifestealer.
yep, we can see about 700 in terms of gold as well as the EXP was swinging towards their favor.
Yeah, and then the Warlock getting a level 6 was also like super important. It's like before 10 minutes they got their chaotic offering, and then soon the Sada will also get his Blink Dagger. Then they'll be running around trying to pick off heroes from the FG side.
Right, and now looks like the items might actually start coming up online. Medusa already picked up the ban of Elven Skin. Will be going for the Dragon Lance pretty soon, I believe. Oli will be going for a Yasha build. Girls, you're very, very quiet.
Yeah, sorry.
Hishiko especially. I haven't heard much of Hishiko.
Because it's my first time trying out, so yeah, I'm maybe a bit quiet.
Okay, no worries there. But yeah, Hishiko, you just why don't you try to talk a little bit more? We all the viewers, you want to hear, your sweet, sweet voice. And now in the bottom lane, a bit of movement coming out there. No, not really yet.
I think the Disruptor has to get his 6 soon, so that when DVD comes in for fights, he does have his Static Storm online.
Right.
So far, he's only sitting at level 5, like a half more EXP to go to get to level 6. So I think he should be prioritizing on getting that level 6 first. It's already 11 minutes in.
Yep, and like you said, on the level 6 is very, very important for the supports. The Warlock as well as the Ogre Magi already has it. So FG definitely in a bit of a predicament here in terms of their heroes level. And we can see Ogre Magi moving towards the middle lane here. Might go on a kill to Oli. He has no mana to actually Blade Fury off, and only one charge into the Magic Wand would not be able to save him there. Now we can see the bottom lane pings are coming out. We can see Timbersaw tanking up the creep wave here. Ogre Magi moving into the fray.
You see
Infested
the life.
or the
Yeah.
Alpha Wolf moving in. A nice crush onto the Timbersaw, and now open wounds up. Rage has been popped, and still a bit of life left. Does manage to Timber Chain away, but it looks like he may not be able to be escaping just yet. Ogre Magi was hot on his tail. Unfortunately, does not have any spells to cast out as he was on cooldown. And now top
Meanwhile, on the
lane.
top lane, I think Disruptor is going down, but he survives the tangle and he keeps his back home.
Yep, so Disruptor, being very, very lucky there, but just like it may not be as lucky though. Already 3 heroes, 4 heroes, even the Slada, if you were to count him in, are hot on his tail, will fall. So looks like 4 death already for the Undying here, just like it not having the best time of his life.
I think because he's the more of the he should be someone who's standing behind to back up the offlaners and the frontliners. But so far he's been caught out so much by the knights. And then you have the Slada on the Blink Dagger as well. I mean the Blink Dagger on the Slada as well. So jumping in, that's what I said just now. Like if the Slada manages to get his Blink Dagger early, it will be difficult for FG to do anything because they'll be jumping on them so much. Like
What we're seeing in the bottom lane here, instant meltdown from the Timbersaw there.
Slada does have his amplified damage, so the Timbersaw is just nothing for them.
Oh, and
The
the Static
Chaotic
Storm
Offering
as
comes
well,
out.
The Static Storm
Yeah.
has been deployed here. Lifestealer will pay with his life. Slada still moving in the back lines there, trying to aim onto the Disruptor. Does get it, and now looks like Warlock might be the one in trouble here. Oh no, only the Slada is not within the fray, so he will not be able to catch him out there. And one thing we actually failed to mention is the Undying actually went 3 points to the decay instead of maxing out the Tombstone. So Tombstone only 3 hits, I believe it's 3 hits to actually just go down. Can easily be destroyed by the Lifestealer with the Rage Pop. So
So
Hishiko,
far,
let's what are your thoughts on the 1 level of Tombstone and 3 level into decay?
Actually, Brian, I've been talking with my friend that he said that our in the stream that she doesn't hear our voices.
In the stream he doesn't hear your voice.
Yeah, she only hears your voice, and both of us, me and Nicole, doesn't have a sound in your stream.
Really?
Yeah.
Um
did you mute us, Brian? Is this your master plan?
No,
Is this your
I can
master plan?
I can hear you perfectly fine. So it's a bit
I know you can.
awkward that they can't hear you on stream though.
I'm not sure because I gave the link to my friend and he said he couldn't hear me, but he only hear you talking alone.
Oh my goodness, so I've been talking alone on stream for the past God knows 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious me. Okay, so it's okay, we'll just carry on for now because we know we can't really hold the game. So we'll just continue casting, no worries there. And now we can see Medusa popping up the ultimate there, be chasing down just like it and die. Looks like he might be a 5th death here. Slada even coming down, getting the crush off onto 2. Timbersaw doesn't get the Timber Chain off, does get bashed and will be denied the Timber Chain yet again. And the final crush from the Slada will get the kill.
Definitely worth the tower exchange.
Yep, indeed. So
Naga
apparently
coming in with
Eric
the
can
sing.
hear us though. Okay, I'm not too
Naga
sure, but then
coming
the
in with
Static
a song.
Storm
Static
now
Storm
hitting a
captures
tree. And now looks like
Yeah.
the Warlock will fall here. No, the heals is actually keeping him very much alive here, being pulled back. Now Juggernaut uses his Omni Slash. My goodness, my tongue tied today. And Zergato getting a killing spree there. Looks like Oli might not be able to make it out alive just yet though. 4 seconds on the Fire Blast. But it looks like it's not going to
Yeah.
be in time. Ogre Magi gets killed down with the Blade Fury there. Now unguarded. Heavy under the attacks of the Timbersaw. Looks like they will back off.
Yeah, I think the life stealer did a good job investing, but then before the Omni Slash came up, he jumped out of the if, his who did he infest just now? I didn't really notice, but he came out and then the Omni Slash came in and he just went down like that. So if he just stayed a bit longer, I think Ogre and the Medusa could have tanked up quite a lot of the damage from the Juggernaut's Omni Slash. Then he only reveals himself from the infection, then he wouldn't have died there probably.
Right, and so now let's look at the net worth. We can see now on first, it will be the Medusa with almost 8.5k. The Juggernaut close second, 8k, and the Nagas are about 7k. It looks like Naga will be getting the Sacred Relic very soon here. Already has enough gold for it. Will be proceeding to get the Radiance very soon, I believe. So it will probably be a under 20 minutes Radiance. And now we can see the side of Radiant here. 4 men already smoked up, moving towards the Dire jungle, trying to find a pick-off here. Dali, definitely the one to be, the priority target here. Gets stunned up, gets slowed by the Ignite as well. Static Storm being deployed, but it's a bit too late though. And now Disruptor might be the next to fall here. Tries to juke it out in the trees. Unfortunately, with 5 heroes on your tail, it's not going to be successful at all.
I'm not sure whether or not FG is able to hold until Naga gets fat enough to fight against DVD.
Mm-hmm.
Because so far there's only a Manta on the Juggernaut, and that's the only damage output.
Yep, indeed, very true. Now the top lane looks to fall here with 3 heroes already knocking onto it. Okay, so good news. Apparently they can hear us on stream. So Hishiko, maybe it's your friend that has to change his setting. I'm not sure because I've already double confirmed with the organizers. They can hear all 3 of us very clearly. So right now we can see the middle lane Zergato on the Slada here being infested up. Might look to get a possible pick off here, but there is no heroes that's joining him just yet. All the heroes are on the top lane. Now Dali just proceeding to get as much farm as he can to come up online with the Radiance, and we have a pause coming out.
Yeah, so let's just talk about the game a bit. So far DVD has pushed out a lot of a lot of FG's towers. That's going to limit Naga's farm a lot. She has to be very careful of the infest bomb coming out from Sada as well as the Knights. So I'm not sure how they are going to keep up with the farm on the side of FG.
Yep, definitely. Like you said, there are a lot of movements coming out, especially with the infest bomb. So the heroes on the side of DBD are a lot more mobile here, with the Bloodlust coming from the Ogre Magi as well, pumping up their movement speed. Can definitely roam around the map, just stopping the farm from the Naga Siren, and then just totally not allowing her to get the Radiance on time.
If she does manage to get the Radiance before they charge onto high ground, that might be the point where they are able to come back. But I think that is only possible if the Timbersaw and the Disruptor are annoying enough to keep the supports away from the rest of the team.
Annoying enough. So you have experience in being annoying enough, Nicole?
No. Sadly, no.
No, okay. So Hishiko, what are your thoughts on the game so far? Like what we like, just to comment, just give a comment or two.
I think that maybe I think FG has a lower chance to win now because Medusa is quite fat.
So Medusa already picked up the Yasha here. Possible going for the Lincoln Sphere next, I
Yeah,
believe.
Lincoln's is on the career.
Lincoln's on the career already.
Wow, okay, so Lincoln's already being picked up here. Yasha, Mantasal surely to follow thereafter, and now top lane, Naga Siren, and as well as the Juggernaut brings down the second tier 1 tower. And bottom lane, as soon as we have a fight here, now Oli under a lot of trouble. Does not have Omni Slash, pops out the Blade Fury, but looks like his teammate Disruptor will fall down first. And now unguarded. One thing, just thinking about going for more. His teammate's probably holding him back for now.
I think they already used up most of their ultimates. It's a bit hard for them to continue pushing forward. But if the Sada comes in, there might be a chance because if they can pick off the heroes one by one, the infest bomb is still there. It's still possible. So we do see them pushing forward a bit more because the Warlock's golem is still up. They're just gonna give up the tower.
So you can see the rate that DB that by defeat are actually pushing here. The Naga, does he have the Radiance? He does have the Radiance though, but you have to understand that Naga needs a lot more than just one Radiance to come online. The Manta style, the Octarine core plays a huge role in just stalling the game. And
yeah, because for now the Timbersaw isn't tanky enough. The Naga definitely cannot be tanky enough. The Juggernaut has the means to escape, but they won't last long against a fight with Medusa, and then you have Ogre, and then you have Rage on the Knights.
Yep.
Definitely not going to be easy.
Very, very true. So now we can see Unguarded already hitting onto the tier 3 towers, almost down to half health. And FG looks like it's really, really hard for them to actually get a counter attack here. They don't really have much push potential, and they don't really have the best team fights as well. So we'll have to see how they actually hold on here.
I think that BBB needs a Aegis now. They could contest Roshan with FG.
Would it be wise though for them to contest Roshan at this time? I mean,
Yeah,
being
I think
such a
probably would be because they can smoke up and catch one before they contest Roshan.
I
It
think
will probably
now
increase their chance.
so we
if
do
just
see a
now
smoke.
after that fight they straight away went into Roshan, then maybe yes, because uh, back then Medusa already used up her stone gaze, the Warlock already used up his golems, I mean his chaotic offering. So, but now it's a bit too late for them to go into Roshan because
Yep.
all the opponent's spells are coming back.
Yeah, I agree on that matter, but I think that probably if BBB gets caught now, FG has a chance to turn over the game.
And
Depends on who gets caught. It
looks like
depends
the
on.
smoke is not successful here. Naga Siren pops up the Song of the Siren, catches off the Medusa alone. Now Static Zone has been deployed, Omni Slash being used up as well. Medusa so quick to fall here. And now glimpse back is the Slada, but is there any follow-up?
He does have a false staff, so I don't think he'll be able to go down so easily.
Yep,
But
and
now they're probably going to defend this. But FG doesn't seem to want to force the fight yet. They might be jumping right into Roshan. And are they? Are they?
oh, it'll
I
definitely be a
think they
good
will
time
be,
though.
Yeah.
but it's kind of risky.
Oh, looks like
EBD is
Zergato.
already looking for a
BBB will
kill.
be jumping, and there comes the Slada stun, and there comes the swings.
The Infest Bomb proving to be a lot too much for the solo Juggernaut to handle there. Not able to get off the Blade Fury in time.
Yeah, he only has a Manta anyway, so he's definitely going down very soon. I don't think so far we only see Timbersaw with one Bloodstone, 13 charges. He's the only one who is able to stand in front. But then you do have the amplify damage. You have all sorts of you have the fatal bonds. It's like damage is coming everywhere. Even with a Bloodstone, it's not going to help much.
What do you think about the Manta build on Juggernaut, Nico?
Hmm. Maybe they were thinking about doing split pushes. I'm not too sure. Because you do have the Naga, you do have a Juggernaut Manta. So I think what they wanted to do was like, if they try to force one lane, we try to push out another lane. But
I agree on that
for
matter.
fights, it's a bit like less ideal.
However, I think that SNY would be a better item choice on Juggernaut because it increases the HP and also the attack speed
Yeah.
compared to Manta, which is
Maybe their initial plan was to try to use the Juggernaut to slow down the push so that Naga has more space to farm. Maybe. But it didn't work out till now.
So we have 9k insights coming from both our girls here. And now it looks like Unguarded and the Medusa might look to actually march down them towards the middle lane here.
But I think they saw the smoke, the ward in the middle lane. Saw it, probably.
Yep, and looks like FG are trying to find ways to jump in, but looks like the Slada might actually get the first hit though. But now he is Static Storm silence up for now. Omni Slash been used. Now hitting onto the Life Stealer though. One more right click will kill off the Disruptor. Now being ensnared, the Slada will be the trade for it. Carry your feet. Now will be chased down, but the other teammates, 3 heroes now chasing down against the other 2 on the side of FG. So we can see FG now a lot more spread out. They can't actually come up as 4 and get the kills. But a Slada's trade for a Disruptor, I think FG will be happy to get it any day. But this will obviously transition into a tier 2 if FG doesn't defend this.
Yeah, the Warlock does still have his chaotic offering. So
Yep, and now looks like Blade Fury up unguarded. Now right clicking all the heroes on the side of FG. This split shot definitely being very, very useful here. Timbersaw managed Timber Chain out away. And now all the heroes at the side of FG now very, very low. Tries to run away. Unfortunately, and Die will be caught, and looks like the Timbersaw might be too. Nope, he will be able to survive.
So what do you guys think? Like, how is FG going to come back from this situation? For me, I think it really depends on whether they are able to secure Roshan and stop the high ground push. That's what I think right now.
I think the Juggernaut really needs to come up online a lot more. Probably a Blink Dagger will be good for him. Seeing how so much mobility is coming out from the side of Death by Defeat, a Blink Dagger pickup would probably increase the odds of him surviving and thus landing a couple of better position Omnislash.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what about your take on this, Hishiko? Hishiko?
She's quiet.
Okay, apparently we've lost Hishiko for now, so we'll just continue the cast.
Where did she go? Alright.
No, I'm not lost. I'm just analyzing.
Oh, okay. So she was silently analyzing the game. So sorry there.
I think just like for now, both teams they have their eye on the Roshan.
You know what? After all that silent analyzing coming from Hishiko, I really want to hear what has she analyzed so far. So please enlighten us, Hishiko. What's going on?
No, I've been thinking that Manta would be probably a good choice on Juggernaut because there is a life stealer's third skill and also the Slala's ulti. So probably that's why I only went for the Manta compared to SNY.
Oh, you were still on the Manta or the Juggernaut. Okay,
I'm still wondering why is he buying the Manta?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so now we can see the bottom lane teamers are just clearing a little bit of creep wave there. Just evening the odds for FG, creating space for the Roshan siege. Now, about what, 3/4 of the life, now down to half. Looks like none of the heroes on the side of DBD have any, they have any intel on this, and it will be a free Roshan. Unguarded now picked up the butterfly for himself. Going to be right clicking a lot more, and it's going to be a lot of trouble for the Omni Slash to come up online.
Yeah, I think this Roshan would help them secure the high ground better. At least like it delays the push since Naga already has the Radiant, she has an SMY, she has the Yasha, and then she has the Soul Booster. So,
Yeah, actually, I think that Dari is not doing well on the Naga, and I think that he's just pushing the illusions to the front lanes. I think that he should actually cut the creep waves so that DBD couldn't push.
yeah, they're doing that on the bottom lane right now. So
Yeah, but he's only pushing one lane. I think that he could actually pressure
more lanes, right?
Yeah, pressure more lanes, but he's not doing that.
Not the most efficient.
Yeah, maybe he has that micro skill. I'm not too sure about that.
Well, they are 5-6 key players, so let's give them the benefit of the doubt. They can definitely micro that, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, however, I think that DBD has two 7K players, if I'm not mistaken, which is the Medusa and the Zerg Rush.
Speaking of Zerk, we can see him already infested up and smoked up as well, alongside with the Warlock and the Ogre Magi. Gonna be looking to get a pick off here. Do they find anyone? Right now, the closest to them is the Juggernaut, but he's already, more than halfway back to base. And looks like the Undying will be the possible. Nope, even he will TP out. So good game sense coming from FG there, able to just predict the movements coming out from Death by Defeat.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do they look to smoke for their own? There is a smoke on the Disruptor, and indeed it will be popped.
Yeah. I think they'll be probably going to try and catch someone and probably can catch the Roshan, but we just got it. Probably they will try to catch someone and try to push the mid tower.
Yep, so there are still heroes on the top lane still available for the pickings, and looks like they will spot out the Ogre Magi first there. Do they pop the Omnislash for him? Nope. Chaotic Offering has been used, Fatal Offering, and looks like a beautiful follow-up by this Slada there, getting the Crush and the Infest out. Static Storm has been used, slowing them down, but it's not really doing too much at the moment here. Now Timbersaw looks to fall. Timber chains out in the last minute and will be able to survive. So it's one death, not too bad on the side of FG. They didn't lose the Aegis, they didn't lose any of the core heroes, so it's still okay on the side of FG here. Chaotic Offering was also used.
Yeah, Omni Slash is still on, but they don't have Static Storm. They don't have Song of the Siren. Not sure how they're going to push this, but maybe they can get the middle tower instead. But of course, they got an Undying, and then if they can get the middle tower, it's still beneficial for them. They don't have to rush this actually, but of course they don't have to rush this. But I don't think they will want to try to contest a late game Naga as well. So
Yep, and the Ogre Magi looks like he fell to the solo Omni Slash. But I'm actually looking at the Undying here, and he has no points up on his Flash Golem at all. Any one of you would like to comment on that?
I'm
support
not
lah.
so
He doesn't
sorry.
have to. He doesn't have to stand in front, so I don't think he opted for that.
Yeah.
His role is just to steal strength behind, put up a tombstone, uh,
Yep,
and
and
try to save his teammate.
looks like
So
the Warlock here. Nope, no, looks like he will be able to survive a quick TP away. So sorry, you were saying?
yeah, I was just saying that I don't think he needed it. Maybe he thinks that he didn't need it first because the rest of the skills are more important to secure the team. Because the frontliners are definitely Timbersaw, Naga, as well as the Juggernaut. So he
Yeah, I would
doesn't
agree on
have
that.
to. So adding to more stats as well as his first three skills are better to support the team rather than having his ultimate up. It's not too useful.
Yep, and now Ogre Magi looks to have a 4 staff of his own as well. Not going for the Ether Lance though. Medusa, 2.3k in the pocket. Warlock has his Scepter as well as a Glimmer Cape. So very, very farm indeed. Lifestealer picked up the Desolator I think about 5 to 10 minutes ago. Now still moving on to his next item. And the Slada already has a fresh BKB of his own. So looks like FG might be having a little bit more trouble going up against the Slada now.
Still, I think it's still possible for comeback. The net worth, XP worth, everything. Although it's like 7k apart, but I don't think it's too much of a difference.
No, it's definitely not a impossible feat to pull off, but
Yeah,
FG really needs to step up their game here. The Naga Siren is definitely, the I would say the main playmaker for FG at the moment here. So she really has to, just spread out as many illusions she can, just rack up all the farm, and now we can
yeah.
see yet another smoke.
This ward will see the smoke there, so I think they're able to back up. I
Yep.
don't think they will find any kills right here. Roshan won't be up anytime soon yet, so I think this is a wasted smoke definitely. If not, they would try to get a counter kill on these three heroes here.
It might not be wasted though. The Undying actually moving towards the secret shop on the Dire side gets picked off here. But looks like they want to go for the bigger target. Slada is available for the pickings. Now already double chakrams onto him. Zergato pops his BKB out as well as his sprint. Does he manage to get out alive though? Still more than half life. It looks like he will. The right clicks from
He could have
Juggernaut
just
is just
BKB'd
melting
and
him.
just TP'd out, right?
Yep, possibly he was afraid of. Was there anything to counter it? The ensnare was used,
No,
right?
no, yeah, I think it was used already. Was it? I'm not so sure. Maybe it wasn't.
Probably he
No,
felt like he
it
could
wasn't.
walk
It
it
wasn't.
away.
Yeah, the SNA wasn't used actually.
No, I believe it was. It was used before he popped his BKB, and that's why he couldn't.
Oh,
Yeah.
but
And
I thought
like
he
you
was
said,
caught by the song.
he was caught by the song. The chakram came to follow, and I think I saw the snare being thrown out as well.
Ah,
So
okay.
yeah, he could have TP'd out. Did he have any TP? Yes, he did. He has 3
Yeah, he did.
TPs.
So we do see an eagle song on the Juggernaut as well.
So a butterfly will be coming up very soon. So Hishiko, you've been a bit quiet. So let's hear your insights on this game so far.
I think that Juggernaut has a eagle song, but I'm not sure what is he going to buy. Maybe he's going for butterfly, but I think the MKB will probably be a better choice.
Yeah, the Medusa does have a butterfly
Yeah,
of her own.
the Medusa has a butterfly that
And a Skadi online.
yeah, it's coming. So I think that MKB will probably does more damage than because I think FG lacks damage. It's the Naga is doing so the damage here.
Right. So like you said, he needs probably he might be feeling a little bit more targeted this game and feel that the evasion coming out the evasion that could actually could be procted by the Slada as well as the life stealer and the Medusa as well could actually save his life, sustain him a little bit longer during the team fight. So it's a possibility why he picked that up. So we're not too sure exactly why.
I
So
think
like,
we do see a knife with Demon Edge right now. So there will be an MKB probably
the
coming out very
duelist would be
soon.
good too, but if the Juggernaut managed to get out the butterfly in time, definitely be a better choice.
Mm. I
Hmm.
think he's halfway building an MKB instead for the Juggernaut.
So what are your insights on the game currently, Ryan?
On my game currently. Okay, so FG at
On
the
the game
moment,
currently?
obviously they are down by what 7.5k gold, EXP a little bit
Yeah.
over than that. They really need to just drag out the fight a little bit more. I believe Naga Siren needs to get a lot more items up.
Do you
So
think
yeah.
FG has a chance of comeback?
Yeah,
Um,
if they drag longer, maybe.
if they drag longer, I still feel it's not possible because don't forget, Death by Defeat still has the Medusa that can actually clear off the
Yeah.
illusions very quickly.
Hmm.
I would agree with Brian and disagree with Nicole because
Yeah.
I think that Medusa is actually quite fearful in the late game.
Yeah, so I'm really afraid of the odds coming out from FG here. They may not actually have enough, seeing how their team composition is like. The Timbersaw hasn't been doing much in the game, and he actually went for he has a double chakram, but in the face of a life stealer that has a rage as well as a Medusa with the mana shield, I don't think it would be enough.
I think the Undying is a bit. The Undying pick was a bit of
Yeah, here
you know.
comes smoke from FG. I think they're trying to pick off a hero from the Radiant
Yep, you can see the
so that
smoke
they can
movement
contest
here.
Erosion.
But only
Yeah.
Warlock is available for the pickings though. But you know what? We've already smoked up. Let's just go for the kill now. Space Creator under the crossfire of FG. Now being double chakram up, whirling death, even the ensnare being used. Throws out the chaotic offering though. Was that
Oh, that's unfaithful
necessary?
right there if they could kill the
Look at the
wild
damage coming up. Just by Fatal Bonds and Chaotic Offering, like almost all of the heroes are down half HP.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
this is
probably
something that has
feel
to
that
be
his
concerned about.
teammates. Yeah, he probably feel his teammates could have followed up. Unfortunately, just late by 2 seconds. And now Juggernaut picks up the Invis rune here. Does have the Omnis Slash. Does he want to go for it? Or he must know that there are many heroes on the side of Death by Defeat that are still alive. And Juggernaut.
Yeah, I think that the Radiant is now leading FG with 7,500 gold. And I think it will be actually hard for FG to come back.
Yeah, things are definitely not looking good for FG now. But we'll just keep our fingers crossed for now. Hopefully they can manage some kind of comeback here. Like
Yeah, sure.
So Medusa, 2.7k gold. What item did she go for next? I believe should be the Manta style, seeing as she still has the Yasha up. Okay, awkward
Meanwhile,
silence for like
Naga.
3 seconds.
What do you think Naga is buying right now with 3.8 gold in the pocket?
Hmm. I'm not
Oh my
entirely
god.
sure though, but right now looks like she's under the radar of 3 heroes. Manages the TP out with the song. Hmm. So Naga Siren earlier you asked. I'm not too sure myself. Probably a more right-click build. The butterfly, no. Probably not butterfly though, seeing how Lifesteal has a Monkey King bar already. Tough question there. I'm not sure. Probably an AC would be good, just to pump up the armor on the sides of FG. A little bit more team-oriented build, or I'm not too sure myself. What about Nicole?
Hmm?
That innocent,
What?
What?
Yeah, what? What question were you asking?
So the question that Hishiko actually threw out was what are the possible items that Nagasara might pick up next with 4.6k gold?
Yeah.
Ah, I'm not too sure. Oh, but yeah, he's picking up a heart already. It's a reverse, so probably a heart.
Well, it has to be a hard though. I've never seen a Nagasara pick up a
I
satanic
think he's,
before.
yeah, he has a reason. I think he's going for heart right now.
Yep, the heart definitely be able to pump up the illusions a little bit more, be able to sustain them and push them forward. But looks like Timbersaw here might fall down, but the Undying to fall first. Chaotic Offering has been deployed as well. Now Quiser M very very low, but now the Life Stealer is to fall 2:1. Medusa pops up the Stone Gaze, gets Glimpse back, doesn't get the kill to the Juggernaut, but will be able to get off the Disruptor here. But Oli still not too safe. Will pop up the Flutter from the Butterfly and get out safely. Now Dali tries to get the kill onto the Warlock and is successful though, but it was at the cost of his own life.
Yeah.
So let's open up the fight recap. We can see the EXP change heavily favoring the Radiant side, goal as well. So it was a not a very favorable trade for FG there.
But it still shows that they are able to hold up. So it's very hard to tell whether or not, like further into the game, would they be able to come back?
Yep, let's look at the Juggernaut here. We can see him actually picked up the Blink Dagger, understanding that he needs more mobility in this game. But what does he go for next? He picked up a level 2 Diffusal Blade. Does he opt to go for the Monkey King bar next, seeing how the Medusa has a Butterfly, or possibly, a label right click? Does he go for yeah, I think it has to be a Monkey King bar, right? No other choice. And now
This
we can
Medusa is
see,
just fearless.
yeah. Well, you have 2.5k HP, almost double
and then
that.
you have a 1.7k more from the shield.
Yep, and now Aegis
Right.
has been popped. Juggernaut will be coming back to life pretty soon. Unguarded, pops up the Stone Gaze. Does he manage to kill off anyone? The bouncing Mystic Snakes deal a bit of damage there, but it won't be enough though. Now Unguarded, being Omni Slashed up, now jumped onto the Ogre Magi. Diffuser Blade is still available, so he gets a couple more right clicks onto Unguarded. Looks like he will be dead.
The Naga Siren song actually stopped Slada and the Knights from
Oh, and Dali
coming into
creating the
backup.
space that he needs. Looks like this might be a possible comeback here. Lifestealer instantly falls there, and now Space Creator glimmers as well as TP out. No, they will not be able to cancel that in time. And Zergato picks up an Invis rune, will manage to scurry off as well. And now, all 5 heroes at the side of FG. Pretty low on mana though, but looks like it won't stop them from marching down the tier 3s in the middle lane.
Yeah, Juggernaut does have his Aegis up still.
No,
Oh,
he
no,
actually
wait,
popped
sorry,
it
he used
already.
it already, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
So right now they'll be
But
looking to
yeah.
just hitting onto the tier 3s. Medusa, does he have buyback though? Medusa, no buyback on the Medusa. Lifestealer doesn't have any buyback as well. It looks like this will be a confirmed 1 Rex, potentially 2 for FG here. Glyph has been popped, Chaotic Offering has been deployed as well. And now Ogre Magi, the first to fall here. Warlock trying to slow things down with his upheaval. Zergato moving in with the crush, but it's not going to be enough. Trying to buy as much time as they can, but this is a definite 1 lane of Rax. And they're already working on the second tier 3 towers at the bottom lane here. Healing Ward has been used, just giving so much sustain to the team. And now Dali looks to just throw off his illusions, slowing down the movements on the side of DBD.
I think that's a great comeback from SG. And here comes Slaughter with stun, but here comes Song of Siren by the Naga.
Oh, looks like Oli wants to man up and fight though. He is right clicking up. Omni Slash has been used as well. Now hitting onto the Medusa. Medusa very low on health, but Oli might have regretted his decision here. Gets right click down, will fall to the Medusa. Buyback coming out from the Lifestealer as well. Not too sure if that will pay off though. Now Dali does not get hit by the Slithering Crush, but he is still under the the sights of DBD with the M damage, but we'll be able to just walk it off away. And a buyback from the Lifestealer. That was very, very uncalled for though. And now Zergato might not be able to be so lucky. Gets a Slither Crush off, does not get melted down by the Naga illusions. So let's open up the graph. We can see a huge dip now, evening things out in terms of net worth. And EXP now down to only 6,000.
Like I said just now, better not to drag the game against the Naga, even though you have Medusa on the team. So
Yep,
I think that Oli has performing very well in this game compared to Naga.
Oh,
Naga
Dali
is
must
just
be turning in his table right now. It's like, no, how can Hishiko say I'm not good?
yeah, I think the Naga did very well just now here. He,
I might be a
Nagas
bit biased right there.
the Naga isolated the Slada and the Knights from coming in from a backup to help the Medusa there. So that part really won them the fight.
Yep, so
So I
Dali, if
would
you're
say that
hearing this
Naga.
cast, I I have nothing to say. Hishiko doesn't like you, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, because I got into a fight with him.
Okay. So now we can see the heroes on on the side of the Radiant now moving up towards the top lane, and now they are down by two sets of racks here. Only the range rack standing for the middle lane. So looks like things have turned around now. FG now heavily in the driver's seat. Roshan is not up just yet. So Slada, what item does he go for next? I believe he should be the Assault Kurais. And Warlock, wow, very fat on his side as well. Scythe of Vice really completed. Juggernaut has 5.6k gold. Timbersaw has a Lotus Orb as well as a Shiva's Guard. Naga has the completed heart. Okay, so now let me throw the question back at Hishiko. Now he has 3k gold. What item will the Naga go for next?
I'm not sure, he probably would save his buyback since he has a buyback.
Yeah, but I mean, what's the next targeted item that he might actually be going for? But hold that thought for now. On the top lane, we can see Tombstone being deployed, Static Storm being used up as well. Now Stone Gaze being popped. Not too much movements though. Everybody seems to be just stunned up for now. Naga has popped the song. Zergato. Now Chaotic Offering being used as well. Undying. Falling down very, very quickly here. Quasar M not be able to do anything at all. Just throwing off the chakram, hoping to slow down Unguarded here. Dali very, very low on health. Lotus Orb. Does he manage to get out alive though? The Mystic Snake will latch, but it's not enough for now. Looks like Quasar M will come into the fray, and now Oli blinks in, tries to get the kill onto Unguarded here. The chakram still spinning around. Right clicks
Why
moving in
in the
left and
world
right.
just happened?
I'm not sure, but Unguarded still very, very much alive, healthy. Oli tries to go
Yeah,
for the chase, but it's not going to be in time.
but I think the team fight here favors to FG rather than the Radiant side.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can see four heroes on the side of DBD are down. Do they have buybacks though? Let's see. Slada has a
Yeah.
buyback. Lifestealer
I think
has.
they should actually force a buyback right now.
Yep, and it's Lifestealer, 60 seconds on the clock. He has no buyback as he bought back during the earlier fight here. Looks like FG might go for Megas. The mid rack's already down and now they're working on the top lane. How will they actually counter this? So Dali trying to create space for his team to actually get the top tier 3 towers unguarded heavily on his backside here.
But on the other hand, the last hero doesn't have a buyback, so it will be actually hard for Radiant to fight right now.
Yep,
And
and
here comes the Song of the Siren from Naga, so that his team could retreat before the Radiant comes in.
right, beautifully done there by Dali, you know. He actually pops out the Naga Siren as soon as he saw
That was the
the
second
stone case
time.
coming out, and yeah, it just reset the whole
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
So
that's
Hishiko, are you sure he's not playing properly? Are you sure? Hishiko. Okay, I'm trying to, just to flame her a bit, but apparently she's not even there to hear me flame.
that's right.
No, I'm just kidding there. So we can see now FG moving towards Roshan Pit. He is now just spawned up. And Naga Siren Games, it truly is a very, very drawn out game. It's already 50 minutes. Mega's almost in the hands of the on the side of FG here. We'll take Roshan and a cheese to follow.
I guess both our predictions are wrong, Brian.
Yeah, unfortunately no. So we have to buy Catasaurus dinner now. Oh shit.
Yeah.
So now, how will DBD look to actually defend their last remaining racks? We see a smoke coming out from them, and over at the Radiant jungle here being forced stuff out, and an instant kill onto the Disruptor. No mercy at all. And
I
now,
think they will actually hard for the Medusa to secure the kills, and since the ages have been contested by the Dire side, oh my god.
I
yep,
think
and
so far now it's like both of the both times the stone gaze came out, Naga was just there to open up the Song of the Siren. So the Stone Gaze, like both times, they were just wasted like that.
Yeah,
And it
true.
was that kind of won them the team fights. But Medusa does have a Divine Rapier. Still not sure whether that is enough to take down the Naga Siren sitting at like 3.5k HP, and then you do have the Timbersaw with 2.4k HP, and then you have an Aegis as well on the Undying. But the Undying isn't that much of a problem. It's just really the Naga and the Juggernaut.
Yeah, the Naga and the Juggernaut will be doing most of the damage right there.
Yep, I like the way Canosaurus mentioned like still not enough. It's like you can measure the amount of doubt that she has in her words. And still not enough.
It's hard to tell whether or not it's enough because like Ogre in the late game.
Oh, hold that thought for now though. Now we can see Oli being hexed up as well. Now Static Storm pulling back the Warlock, not able to cast out his chaotic offering there. And now 2 heroes instantly dead on the side of the Radiant.
Here comes the Siren and the buyback from Slada.
Buyback from Slada. It's gonna be enough. The Warlock has no buyback, so there is no chaotic offering this fight. And Stone Gaze just being used. And all the heroes inside of FG will just run. Yep, and Oli being in the backends there would definitely fall. And the multicast is real. Look at how fast the Timbersaw is falling now. Pops up the cheese, tries to get away, but now Crush Zergato falling to with the Chakram in play there. And now it looks like AGs will be popped for now. Timbersaw will be the next to follow. And how will Unguarded actually, okay, no, Unguarded will just easily kill him off.
The Divine pickup was definitely the only chance they could have won the game.
Yeah, the Divine done a lot of damage right there.
Yep, so looks like things have just turned once again. FG 3 heroes down, but it was at the cost of a buyback from the Slada, right?
Yeah, the Slada doesn't have a buyback anymore.
Okay, so it's a cheese and an Aegis being down for FG as well. So who do you think, which team do you think got the better end of that?
I think FG will still probably stand a better chance at winning this. The Rex are all down, except for the top tower.
Though. Look at the Disruptor here, trying to plant out a ward, but easily scouted out by the Medusa, kills him off.
It depends on how fast DVD is able to push out the lanes because we do have the Naga pushing out the rest of the lanes as well. If let's say DVD wants to push out one lane, then the rest of the lanes would have Naga pushing them out, and then they already have 2 Rexes down. It would be slightly more difficult.
Yeah, I would agree on that.
So what they can do right now is hope that they win the next fight, and then hope that one of the creep waves is pushed up enough for them to BOT over and push down the rest of the towers.
However, I think it would be also quite difficult since the Slada doesn't have a buyback and the only one available to fight would be the Medusa and the Flex Killer.
Yeah, just like, okay, let's just compare. The Slada is definitely not as tanky as the rest of let's say Timbersaw and the Undying.
Yeah.
He just melts so quickly, even with the BKB, it's just like he goes in, stuns, and then he dies.
I think the Slada has performed quite not so well in this game compared to the Timbersaw.
It's just the item progression on him.
Yeah.
After the BKB, his item progression just slowed down, and then it slowed down. It wasn't that easy for him to Slada is not the kind of hero that can farm a lot, and then the farm mostly has to go to Medusa as well as the Knights, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And then I think they also prioritize a lot of farm on the Warlock.
On the Medusa, and also the Life Stealer.
So that's why I think it's not that Slada has bad plays, it's just that the rest of the team needed the gold much more than he did. So just one good stun from Slada might just be enough for them to win the whole team fight. So it really, I would say that it was bad play from him.
Yep, very true. So to just conclude everything Canosaurus said, I think it's more towards the hero's nature in itself. Slada, just being the initiator, providing as a taxi for the Lifesteer to actually get an infest bomb out. So that's his main role here. And just getting off the AM damage as many enemy heroes as he can. So now we can see FG clumping up as 5 in the Radiant jungle here. Do they look to go high ground now?
Yeah, we do see the Knights also picking up a Maelstrom.
And here
Okay.
comes the sound of the siren from the Dali catching the life stealer. I
Oh,
think life
Static
stealer will be
Storm.
getting down.
He is definitely dead here.
And here
Static
comes the
Storm as well as a
Warlock.
tomb being used out. Now Warlock uses the upheaval. Doesn't have his
Yeah,
ultimate up just yet though. So it looks like everything
the
will be
life
just.
stealer is still on the wall. And there goes down Naga Siren.
Yep, and now Oli looks to be, going up against Unguarded here, but will Blade Fury away. Now Naga Siren
Yeah.
buys back. Lifestealer buys back as well, and looks like the Undying will be the next to fall here. So Naga Siren doesn't have a TP, I presume, and multicasted ups. Timbersaw looks like he will, be the next in line. Nope, he will be able to get off. Lotus Orb being used as well, and now Ogre Magi will fall. The gem is down. Quasar M. Does he get the Timber Chain off? Does he want to get the Timber Chain off? Naga has popped up asleep now. And looks like there is no static storm to follow just yet. Carry off feet will be the next to fall. 104 seconds. No buyback for him. And Dali
Yeah,
now being hexed up as well.
I think it's a GG for DDD and FG would probably got to get the game.
It's hard to say though. Now Timbersaw dies and the Juggernaut buys back. That was a very, very drawn out fight there. It lasted for at least a good 20 seconds. But now we can see the fight recap. The goal was indeed in favor of the B2. Sorry, Death by Defeat.
It'll probably be hard for FG to actually push in because Medusa has a divine repair and also he has a buyback.
Yeah,
On,
let's say that
mhm.
the divine drops, then it will be seriously game over for them.
Yeah.
So far, I don't see anyone who is able to bring down the Medusa.
But the thing is the Juggernaut and the Naga doesn't have a buyback, but Medusa actually have it.
Yeah, she does have a buyback, but let's say what if Naga or Juggernaut picks up the divine, even if Medusa buys back, would it
Yeah, but
be
he
difficult for
actually
them
has
to then?
a spare divine in the courier. He should
Oh,
actually,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, so another Divine Rapier already being purchased up by Medusa here, but looks like he may not need
Yeah.
it. Only one more right click will do it and he will fall here. So there is no buyback for
I
the
think actually
Juggernaut.
it's a chance for the Death by Defeat to actually push in since the Oli doesn't have a buyback right here.
Yep, and now the Timbersaw being hexed up here uses he is now ghost up,
Yeah, but
but
the top Rex is also going down to the Naga very, very quickly. Nobody is trying to defend this. Everyone is fighting at mid.
I don't think they know just yet though. Like now they're pinging it out that the Naga is there. They're having their
Naga,
TPs up, but this is Megas and Zergata looks to fall here. Nope, he won't. Infest Bomb being pumped out. Dali gets off the Song of the Siren. Rage still keeping carry off feet very much right clicking there. Will fall asleep. Ogre blinks in. Does he get the stun off in time? Multicasted there. Dali will fall to the Medusa in a Beyond Godlike streak. My goodness.
I think the Naga shouldn't have actually keep it back. Instead, he should actually just push mid. They could actually just end the game mid right there because the Naga and the Juggernaut doesn't have a buyback.
Yep, exactly. So I'm not too sure how FG will have to defend this. Naga is already pushing forward here. No buyback on the course.
Yeah, and it's for 80 seconds, which is actually enough time for the Radiant side to take down the Ancient.
Yep, they can definitely just, hit the tier 3 towers and go for the GG push right
Yeah,
now.
let's go straight for the throne, I think.
I think if Warlock picked up a refresher here,
Yeah, see right here, they are just the throne. I think it would be a very nice comeback right here.
Yep, look at them. They don't even want the racks. They want to go for the GG push. Now Throne, they use the glyph for now. Carry off feet. Just not giving a damn about the Timbersaw. Just looks to right
yeah,
click
the
there.
Medusa picked up both of the rapiers just
Yeah,
to push
both
down.
rapiers and a GG from the Radiant side.
Yep, indeed, and looks like the first game will go to death by defeat. Unfortunately, it was a very very close comeback from Fantastic Gaming there, but it wasn't enough. Unfortunately, the lack of buybacks is what lost them the game.
Yeah, actually, I think that they shouldn't have buyback and it actually cost them their game right there.
Yep, so a very very good game. So shout out to Eric. He was the one that actually selected this game for us to cast. It was definitely a very interesting game to cast, but it was also for 60 minutes, Eric. God damn it! But
Hi.
so yes, there you are. So we will be moving forward to game two. The lobby will be up shortly, and we will just be taking a short commercial break for now. Stay tuned, guys.
Is the stream off?
No, 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 not yet, not yet. Chill,
Okay.
chill. Wait,
changes.
Life.
Okay. Hello, guys. Welcome back to the second game. Death Before Defeat going up against Fantastic Gaming. Joined by me today is Katasaurus. Unfortunately, Shiko has something to do, so she will not be joining us for this cast. So,
Oh,
Katasaurus, what was your take on the first game earlier on? We saw two Divine Rapiers on the Medusa. We saw such back and forth game. It was over an hour of intense, team fights and pushing. And unfortunately, Fantastic Gaming did not win that though,
I
despite the beautiful
think
comeback.
yeah, I think Medusa played it right. She had enough items to give her HP and enough mana regen, so her mana shield will be up always. It will be difficult to take. Um, it would be difficult for the rest to take Medusa down. So getting two divines on her was also nice because the divines wouldn't drop so easily. Plus, they also needed that damage from the divines because Ogre definitely not a late game support. What he can do is just buff the Medusa as much as possible, and then the Warlock the Warlock has Fatal Bonds, so the spread damage will be a lot. So that was a very good play from TBD, I guess.
Right, and the Juggernaut actually dealt quite a lot of damage there. He was the one that actually managed to bring down the Medusa a couple of times, but unfortunately, as the game dragged on, Medusa just became tougher and tougher to kill, and eventually became impossible. She didn't need the Aegis of a mortal; she just had her usual items, and it was enough to
Mm.
sustain her with the Divine Rapier.
Yeah, I guess it was down to the early game and how they started. So I think the Undying pick was a bit. It didn't synergize so well with the team. He couldn't do much for the team.
Yep.
So that was one wasted pick, I guess. I would say that it was a wasted pick.
Hmm.
And then Timbersaw didn't exactly have the best time of his life on even with the Undying support on his name. The Fatal Bonds cut down his HP so much. He couldn't fight against an ogre support as well, and then the knights could just slash him down so quickly. And then uh, even if even so, I think the disruptor zone or he didn't zone out the Slada too well. The Slada was having free farm in the NC. He didn't die to the Naga in the lane. That was quite a successful lane for Slada all in all. He got his dagger fairly early, like was it 12 minutes in or so, I think?
More or less, yeah.
Yeah, more or less. So I think it really just comes down to how well they executed their draft, and FG just didn't execute their draft that well.
Yeah, one of the highlights I remember from the game was you remember the top lane around the tier 1 Radiant region where the Warlock was up against what 4 or 5 heroes on the side of
Yes,
FG,
yes, yes.
and a Fatal Bond and a Chaotic Offering instantly just drop all of them down to half health. So you imagine
Mm.
how much impact the Warlock actually brought to the game, and I,
Yeah,
I think that he contributed as much as the Slada, I would say, or probably even the
yes.
Medusa, to winning that game.
Yeah, I think Warlock support is
Mhm.
very strong. Like even when we go to tournaments, a lot of people just try to get the first ban out of Warlock if they know the opponents are good at that hero. Because Warlock can do so much even from the early like once he hits 6, he can be going into fights very, very quickly.
Yep, very true. And speaking of Warlock, it has not been picked nor banned for now. I mean, it's already the second phase of the draft, and it is still available for the pickings if either one of the team wants to go for it. But seeing how Fantastic Gaming, they already have the Shadow Demon, they already have the Dazzle. The Warlock will not be, a viable pick for them here. So if you have the Shadow Demon, you normally want to synergize with another hero. The arrow into Mirana is what we used to see. The Kunkka Torrent, the Luna, just to create
Yeah,
ample amount of push power.
for now, because they already picked up Dazzle, definitely no Kunkka. I don't think there will be a Kunkka unless the Kunkka goes mid. But
Yeah, we,
the
we
mid
do see a
Kunkka
couple
isn't.
of Kunkas going mid.
Yeah, but the mid Kunkkas really don't scale that well, I think.
Yes, I have to agree that. I mean, I've been playing a couple of rank games, and whenever I say a mid Kunkka, yes, he does the one hit cleave that could kill off
Mm,
supports, but it's not enough to take down the cores during the late game. One thing I
yeah.
would like to highlight here is you do remember during the first game, the pick and during the drafting phase, the Centaur War Runner was, I believe, banned out by Fantastic Gaming, and
Yeah, the
now
third ban, I think.
Yep, and now Death Before Defeat picks up the Centaur here. So we have a Centaur as well as a Bat Rider. How do you see the laning phase will work out for Death Before Defeat?
Centaur has been picked up as a core more often nowadays. That's
So
what
a
I see.
safe lane Centaur? Oh no, it
Yeah,
could be a
I've seen a few safe lane centaurs before because in the late game you have a lot of strength, you're tanky enough, you can deal damage as well. Um, all in all, can be a very good core, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how it goes because you have the stun, then you have also the stampede.
yep.
Stampede would definitely help the Bat Rider rush in quickly or more efficiently into fights and try to lasso someone out.
Yeah,
So I think
imagine if you
it
were to
synergizes quite
lasso
well.
and then pop the Stampede, the Bat Rider would just be moving at an absolute maximum
Yeah,
speed and just get
yeah.
to create so much distance. It's true that it would be a possible combo there. One of the other combos that I used to see, not so often see now, is a Centaur, picking up the Manta style and just sending illusions to the
Ah, yes,
towers.
correct, correct.
But I believe it
I
was
believe that
been nerfed.
yeah, it has been nerfed already. I think the illusions don't. That's what I heard from Xting. He told me that they already nerfed that, so it's not gonna happen anymore. Then I'm like,
Yep.
okay, too
I
bad then.
I believe it was 6.88E or F. I can't remember which one,
Yeah,
but
I
yeah,
can't remember which
Centaur
one.
no long no Centaur illusion no longer deal return damage, and Warlock looks like it will be picked up here for Death Before Defeat.
Mm, definitely a support that they don't want to let go of.
Yep, Death Before Defeat. The Warlock earlier on, giving them just so much of an advantage over
Mm.
Fantastic Gaming, and
They
it's
already banned out. They already banned out Silencer. They already banned out the OD. The opponents banned out Storm that can easily catch Warlock. So I think sometimes it's better not to reveal your supports too early into the game. Like you already revealed your Shadow Demon and Dazzle, then they'll be able to counter back with other supports, of course. So yeah, you see the Shadow Demon and Mirana combo coming from Fantastic Gaming.
Hmm. Okay, but you usually want to have that combo if it is a roaming Mirana because you
Uh,
staying in lane, it's really hard for the Shadow Demon to just set up the disruption.
you have Well, he can use like early game. You can have three smokes. You have three chances to get the kills on the mid lane.
Oh come on, you want to
So
use three smokes to get one possible kill? I don't feel that as a
no,
very
no, three smokes for three possible kills.
okay.
So
If
it's just
that's
to shut down the mid laner as much as possible. But even so, the Shadow Demon would be very nice even for late game pushes. So let's say if they pick out a Drow Ranger or maybe not a Drow, but more of a Luna or something, it would be nice. But I don't know. I'm not very sure about
a Drow Ranger would be nice, but the thing is you have to understand that Death Before Defeat they actually have a Bat Rider in
Bad
play.
Rider. That's why I was thinking like, hey, Zhao wouldn't be that nice of a pick, but maybe Luna,
Maybe Luna.
or let's okay. What other heroes do you think Shadow's Demon can synergize well with?
It's Morphling is still available for them if they want to go for it. Because
Morphling is still
if I'm not,
available.
if you've heard of it, you can actually replicate the illusions coming out from Shadow Demon. And
So
what?
they already
They
banned it
actually
up
banned
themselves.
out the Morphling. Okay. Um, that actually really caught me off guard. I would think that Fantastic Gaming might actually want to go for it, but I think they're afraid that Death Before Defeat might actually picked it up first, so they chose to
Yeah.
ban it.
Yeah, because
So,
if the opponent picks up a Morphling, they don't have anything to burst the Morphling down,
yep. This
except for Caustic Finale. And then other than that, I don't see anything else that
or
they can do.
caustic finale. If you know you gotta hit like every, if they must 5 creeps, then you gotta hit like all 5 creeps, and then hope for the proc in order to kill the morphling off. And
Yeah,
then
at least because if you have the Caustic Finale, it will be easier to lane against the Morphling because I play Sand King a lot. I've tried laning against the Morphling before. It's a lot of fun. It's very fun. Like early game, you can zone him out a lot. But like in the late game, yes, it's difficult to do that. But in the late game, usually you wouldn't be counting on the Morphling. Usually,
right.
it's another damage dealer that's doing that's like chopping down the hero. So
Right, so final pick for DBD and Invoker will be the last, to just synergize all of them. So how do we see, like perfect Dota sets? How is DBD gonna just pull it off here?
team fights, boss fights.
A Bad Rider Quino could actually easily set up for a Sunstrike on the Invoker, so we can see that would be a possible combo. Centaur,
Centaur stun onto an Invoker Sunstrike or the Rubik lift into an Invoker Sunstrike. It's just easy ganks everywhere.
yep, and now Fantastic Gaming down to the last legs here will have to actually pick they are I believe they don't really have much tankiness, and the Sunstrike will easily burst any one of the heroes down. So what will their final pick be? They are lacking a carry here. Juggernaut.
Huh? Oh, what? How are they going to play this?
So is it gonna be a safe lane Omni-Knight? No, Quasar was the one playing the Timber Sword, so it would be a off lane Omni-Knight, and
I
Dali was the one that playing. Dali played Naga Siren earlier on,
Naga.
so he will be the safe lane Sand King, I suppose.
I
Um,
don't
I'm lost for
I don't
words here.
understand the draft. I'm so sorry. I really don't understand.
Okay, so we'll have to just slowly dissect it one by one. Shadow Demon Dazzle will be the support, Marana on the mid lane. So Sanking would probably be on the off lane, I suppose.
Have you seen a damage dealing Omni Knight before?
Yes, I have during Dota 1. It was Dota 1 times where the Omni Knight picks up the Sanch and Yasha. The
Hmm.
I believe it was Buriza do Kyanon at the time for the
You see
Daedalus.
Omni Knight with two stout shields now.
Omni Knight with two stout shells. No, he sold
Oh
one
no, he
away.
did. Okay, so one. Okay.
So it was mispurchased by the Omni Knight there. So predictions.
I don't know. Definitely going to DVD. I don't see how FG is able to make it into the mid late game. You know.
Really? You know what? I'm just gonna take my chances. I'm gonna go with FG, and I'm just gonna create a in your face moment where FG
Okay.
wins.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, so we'll see who actually takes this game then. So for those of you just joining us today, this is the second game, DBD going up against FG. And we are Casas, Monoming, and Catasaurus. But hold that thought for now. We can see Rubik coming in, getting the lift onto the Shadow Demon though. Now the disruption onto him. Sunstrike to actually secure the kill, but it's a little bit away. First blood has already been drawn. Rubik the first to fall here, and now Shadow Demon will be the second kill of the game. Zergato now being the next target for FG here. A couple more right clicks will secure the kill. There are no spells that can be thrown out. Marana has the arrow up already, gets the hit, and looks like this will be another kill for FG.
Wow. I really don't know how to feel about this. Like.
So it's 2-1 already. Care to concede now?
No, I'm just gonna stick with my choice.
Okay, so the bounty rune will spawn. It will go one on each side. The invoker will pick it up. But invoker picking up the Wraith Band up and
Uh,
early
I think
already.
I think I understand the SD and Dazzle dual picks. It's like the SD illusion. You disrupt someone, then once the illusion comes out, Dazzle comes in with a heal that's gonna deal a lot of damage.
Yep,
But
it's
but it's not something that you would like. Of course, the early game it will be very helpful, but what about the late game? Like, what are you gonna do with those heroes?
I'm not too sure, but hold that thought for now. We can see in the Radiant Jungle. Now 2 versus 2. Dali coming into the fray as well. Has one level into Burrow Strike. It looks like they will just dissolve the fight there. So yeah, you were saying towards the late game. We'll have to see how Marana as well as the Omni-Knight, itemize. Probably, if they go for more right clicks, a lot of towers, sieging, they could opt to just disrupt and create more illusions for the pushes.
Mm-hmm. This is like the first time I've seen an Omni Knight off lane against a Bat Rider safe lane. Wow, I'm like, I don't. Wow.
Wow, indeed. Now Dali looks like he will go for the kill here. Has the Burrow Strike to go on to carry or feed, but he has been lifted up by the Rubik though. So now Rubik in the side shot will look to juke the attacks coming in. Carry or feed, half life. Does he want to go for the fight though? No, they will
I
just
think they are
settle.
aware. They are aware that they are unable to bring down the centaur just yet. He does have a stout shield. He is tanky, a strength hero. But I think just now how they could have played it was lock down Rubik
Hmm.
and use Dazzle's Shadow Wave to deal a lot of damage on him, and then just a Borrow Strike. I think the Rubik would have died there. He was standing very far away, like out of position here.
Yep, that could have been a possibility there. Unfortunately, it just didn't happen for FG. So
Mm.
now they will be just going back to the laning phase and top lane. Do we see anything happening here? Omni Knight does have the repel though, so he doesn't really need to worry about the stacks, all the napalm stacks coming out from the Bat Rider. Meanwhile, the bottom rune, we can see both supports trying to fight out for the bounty rune here. We'll go to the Rubik. So it looks like the action might possibly be coming out towards the bottom lane. Now Centaur already being disrupted. Dali to follow up with the Burrow Strike, but it's not going to be enough though. The heals coming out from the Warlock would definitely sustain him.
Mm.
The Fatal Bonds are just so annoying, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. The fatal bonds, and then you have to heal on the centaur. It's like, how are you going to take down the centaur? Of course, you're not going to take down the centaur. You're just going to try to take down the Rubik or even a warlock.
Yeah, they're gonna go for another attempt here. Carrier Feed does
Yeah,
use
I
the Hoof
think
Stomp already. And
the
now,
borrow strike missed, is it? I think it missed the Rubik.
I
It
think
was a
yeah,
bit
it
too
wasn't
early.
timed properly. Dalu
Yeah,
actually
it
casted
wasn't
it a little
time.
bit too early, so yeah, no
Yeah,
disables.
I think they would have gotten the kill if the borrow strike hit.
Yep, unfortunately, just the timing, a little bit of a mess up there coming up from Dali, but nothing too detrimental for now. So, 3 minutes into the game, laning phase. Oh, we have a kill. Oh no, okay, it was a neutral keep kill. He suicided. So we have 17 last hits now on the Marana. So we can see Unguarded not exactly dominating his lane despite being a Quartz Exort Invoker. Marana,
Mm.
very low base damage though, but he was able to get the better of the Invoker.
Mm. I don't know. I really think that it's this is DVD's game. It's just DVD's game.
Oh no, you can't be so one-sided. Come on, you gotta give FG a chance. Yes, I know they almost won game one, but it was so close. It was so close. It was just down to the buybacks. If they had the buyback, they would have won the game. Come on.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm really not feeling the picks here. You know.
Okay, so if FG wins, not only you have to treat me dinner, you have to do a apple pineapple apple pen video.
Okay, but
Okay?
if DVD wins, is it like you have to buy me dinner and then you have to do the Apple Pen kind of the video thing or something?
FG, you better freaking win this game. I don't want to do apple pineapple pen, but hold that thought for now. We can see Dali setting up the Sunstrike onto the centaur, but he's just gonna get healed up though, so no kills there. He was able to dodge it.
Yeah, he does have his tranquil boots up, and he does have a stout shield.
Oh, but hold that thought. Looks like we can see a kill here. Carry off feet very low. One more right click coming from the Dazzle will secure the kill. He does not have any points to the poison touch though, but Space Creator very, very low on health. Looks like they will not continue the siege.
That was a good call by them. Like they had the spells, they had enough HP and mana to do so, so they just tried to go in for the kill.
Hey Nicole, 3-1.
So, so
3-1. Pen pineapple apple pen, remember that.
no.
Okay, so
I
now one
believe
more
in
time in the
DBD.
bottom lane here. Now Burrow Strike instantly connects. And 4-1 to score, Nicole. Things are not looking good for
No,
you at
no,
all,
no.
is it?
The score doesn't matter.
Okay, let's open up the graph. We can see over 1,000 in terms of gold and in terms of EXP in the favor of whose favor is it? FG was it? FG.
Okay, but you're not sure. You're not sure when it comes to the mid game how well the invoker can perform.
Well, we have to see that because we have the Murana. I trust in Oli, so hopefully I
You
don't
look
need
at
to
the
do.
Omni Knight. He's just bullying the Bat Rider on the top lane, and
I
he does get the kill.
know, and it's
Solo kill.
5-1. It's 5-1 now.
Okay. Okay.
Viewers
I
out
don't
there,
believe I don't believe that the Warlock cannot bring the game back.
well, we have to see. Warlock is still at level 3, so he isn't giving much game presence just yet. So we'll have to see
Mhm.
how things turned out. But I got a feeling that FG will win, and
Mhm.
I have a feeling that you're gonna be stuck doing the pen pineapple apple pen. So Nicole
We
unfortunately came into the cast not knowing what was gonna happen. But hey, almost 7 minutes into the game, 5-1 to score. Things are definitely looking better for me. But top lane may not be
mhm.
so good for Quasar though. He is being chased down. Sunstrike to follow will get the kill. So a killing spree ended by the Invoker.
See this comeback. You look at this comeback.
Oh, it's
It will
just
be back soon.
5-2. Come on. Pen pineapple apple pen. Come on, FG, do it.
No, we still have like more than half of the game like ahead of us. So we do see a smoke coming up from the Dazzle and the Shadow Demon. I think they're roaming towards mid lane, trying to get the kill on the Invoker. The Invoker doesn't have any mana, so if he does get caught out, I think the supports are lost. They're like, oh, where do we go actually?
Yeah, but looks like they
The
don't really know
Mirana doesn't
where
have
to
mana as
go
well.
though. They are
Yeah, because the
rotating.
Mirana is the Mirana doesn't have any mana to do anything. So yeah, they're going back to the Warlocks.
Yeah, they just want to get the kill on the Warlock there. So a disruption already being used. Gonna be using a heal bomb there. With the Burrow Strike will secure the kill. So it's 6-2. Hey, things are looking better for me now. Meanwhile, the top
Mm-hmm.
lane, carry of feet, very low on health too. Gets a hoof stomp off onto the Omni Knight. Will salve up. But looks like, oh, does he get the kill onto the Mirana here? One more right click was gonna kill a bottle. No, only you can't die here. I don't want to deal pen pineapple apple pen. Now already power threats being in strength mode and even popping off the ultimate there. Rubik will not get the kill. Oh, thank God.
Mm-hmm.
So Invoker gets the Invis rune, but I don't think he'll be able to capitalize from it though. Like, there's nothing an
Yeah.
Invoker at this point can do with an Invis rune. Probably
Mm-hmm.
could have
He's just
given
trying
it to
to
the
farm up his
Rubik.
Midas first,
Uh,
so
he,
I think this would be a slightly long game as well. I
yeah,
would say that it would be a slightly long game as well, but we do see the Sanking coming in top lane.
yep, looks like we might be seeing another kill here. Even the Dazzle moving in, but there is an observer ward from the Dire side. Just able to scout out all the movements on the top lane there. So they probably don't get the feeling that there are more heroes on the top lane that they might actually see on the map here. You can see how defensive Zerigato as well as Carrier of Feet are playing. They're just moving back towards their jungle.
Yeah, for now FG, of course they will be dominating the early game because of the heal bombs. You know, you do have the Omni Knight heal, then you have the disruption to add more illusions to that heal.
Yep,
And then you also
absolutely.
have the Burrow Strike and the Classic Finale. So early game, it's really about all the burst damage that they have. But once it comes into the late game, I really hope that DVD does it. I don't want to do anything like
Oh, it's
that.
either me or you, and I'd rather be you. Seeing a guy doing pen pineapple apple pen is just not entertaining.
Hey. Nobody treats me as a girl.
Oh, I
Everyone
do, I
thinks,
do, I do. You're pretty much a girl to me, okay? You're a sister to me. We're good friends.
okay, I'm
S-
sad now.
it looks like now Shadow Demon will be just getting a little bit of experience there, almost level 6, and this will be very important for FG to just set up more kills. And
Hmm.
meanwhile, we see DBD all clumped up in the secret shop here. Carrier of Feet, not having the best time of his life. Tranquil Boots as well as Ring of Health for now.
I think they're just trying to drag it as long as they can because, like, yes, the Bat Rider does need his Blink Dagger to actually be able to jump in for a lasso. And then Centaur, you do need to have a Vanguard or something to actually tank up more damage um, in the mid game. And then Rubik usually, of course, he can strive well without the items, but it's definitely important for him to hit the level 6 as well as the Warlock because the spells are so important. If they can get one heal or I don't know, a
Yeah, I mean,
disruption for
yep, either
yeah,
the heal or the repel from the Omni Knight, will be very, very important for DBD.
yeah. So definitely what they have to prioritize right now is getting levels and getting the items that they need.
Oh,
But I
bottom
think
lane.
even if FG can get the towers early, like if in the fights late game, it's
Oh,
very
hold that
hard
thought
to
for now,
tell them.
Catasaurus. Meanwhile, the bottom lane, you can see Epicenter already being deployed here and guarded down to half-life, has been demonic purged up, pops the ice wall, so it looks like there won't be any follow-up there. But looks like the Bat Rider Zergato will not be so lucky. So it's 7-2. Hey, I'm really envisioning Catasaurus doing the pen pineapple apple pen.
Go away.
So I'm really envisioning her. So mind you that she has to do it, and she has to post it on Facebook.
Oh my gosh. Why did I agree to this?
I have
No,
no
I
idea.
believe in DVD. I believe in DVD. They can do this.
Okay, whatever floats your boat, whatever helps to sleep at night. But now
Come
looks like
on, get
FG.
Warlock to 6, man.
Now FG already knocking the tier 2s to fall. Things are looking better and better for me. Look at the net
Mhm.
worth, 5k, over 5k in gold.
But
About
the XP
500
is
EXP.
still the XP is still even.
Hey, money makes the world go round, cat. And looks like we have a smoke coming on the side of FG this time. Who would they find here? Bat Rider?
Yeah,
Is
there's no one nearby unless they can jump onto the Bat Rider.
Yeah, Zergato not
It's up to the
exactly the
Rubik.
highest priority though. The Bonic Purge has already been used. Bat Rider being stunned up by the Burrow Strike and instant heal to follow, and Shadow Demon's proc will get the kill. So a smoke for a Bat Rider, it's okay. Seeing how they're gonna be marching to the tier 3s now.
The chaotic offering is up on the Warlock, so
Let's
they
hope
might
he
be able to
just
find something
chokes
here.
and not have enough mana
Ah
for it.
ah 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 ah
The
ah
chaotic
ah.
offering, oh shit, doesn't hit.
No. The Rubik has the mana boot, so his Arcane's boots are up. No
Uh,
problem.
I'm just trying to just make things more favorable for me so that I don't have to do the freaking song. So now Oli, we can see already has a Yasha in the stash here. So does she actually go for a Mantas right away instead of the usual Scepter build?
Maybe.
Hmm. It's very, very
Maybe they just
hidden.
want to push early. Don't give DBD the chance to farm up their items. Just push all their towers and just win the game. I don't know.
Or
Maybe that's
maybe
their
they just
strat.
want to see you do the song.
Okay.
I will never let this go. At least not until the game ends, though. But right now we can see FG. They are moving towards the tier
Oh my
twos at the middle
gosh.
lane. 4 heroes already. Where's the fifth one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, Dali is up there.
They're not looking to defend this, so they're just trying to push down the bottom tower in exchange. Hey, no, DVD win.
Okay, so that's a little bit of we don't have to distract them anymore. In the middle lane, we can see Centaur already down, and now Zergato might be the next to follow though, but he is being lassoed at the moment here. Dali gets a Burrow Strike off just to throw him off from pulling him too far backwards. And now looks like the Moonlight Shadow will be able to cover the tracks. But it's not for long though. Looks like he might be stunned up, and indeed Dali will fall here.
So that was a 2-for-1 trade for the core centaur. Uh, it was a core Sand King and a support for one centaur. So it went in favor to DVD. See, it's coming back right now.
Uh-huh. 9-4.
Uh
It's still not enough to secure the game though.
huh.
Holy shit, I really don't want to do it. I have no idea why I
It's
even
like the game
suggested.
wasn't as intense until this happened.
Yep, indeed, indeed. And now we can see Dazzle getting off the deny on his ward there. So what spells did he get? He actually got purification. Oh no, why did he have
Oh
to get
no.
purification?
But would it oh my gosh, what am I saying? Would it have been better if he took a repel instead?
I like how you just slow things down just to catch
Yeah,
your
I'm
breath.
like, oh my god, my brain, it's just so much going on right now. I'm like, I don't want to do the dance. I don't want to buy Brian dinner.
So yeah, meanwhile we can see in the middle lane the tier 2s are falling indeed. So
Mm.
come on, pen pineapple, apple pen.
Oh, you're already doing it, so might as well you do it, right?
No, the thing is I'm envisioning you while I'm singing the song so it feels better and not me. So unguarded now, has his Midas up, will be going for his next item here. Let's see, the Centaur have his Blink Dagger. Yes, he doesn't have the Blink Dagger just yet. He has only a Hood of Defiance.
He doesn't need a blink dagger. Can just
Oh,
stampede and rush in, or just wait until someone jumps him. But then I
okay.
think the invoker is doing his job right now. He's just trying to.
Oh, an
Oh,
epicenter being used, but it's only a solo Rubik in the fray here. What he gets the Burrow Strike and manages to run away too. And now Omnia Knight looks to fall here. Sunstrike doesn't connect. Instantly Purification himself and Repel as well. Now Moonlight Shadow being used to Mirana still very very far away from his team though. Do they want to take the fight still? Omni Knight being stunned up, double H being used as well, and he will fall here.
the arrow will connect onto the Rubik as well, but
Uh,
they
It's a
don't. I don't
bit
think they
too
can
late.
force it.
Like the whole entire team is really so spread out. I don't think they can do anything. They have to back away here. Zergato still want to go for more. Pumps up the sticky in the palm here.
The
Gets the
Warlock
stun
does have
off.
his
Warlock
chaotic.
with the chaotic
Yeah.
offering. Sunstrike to follow. Unfortunately, it doesn't hit. Arrow not hitting into anyone. Just hitting his creep. And now looks like I will have to do the pineapple
Do you
dance.
see the comeback now, Brian? Do you see
Ah, no, this is
it?
not happening. This is a four-man dance on the side of
9-8,
FG.
man. This is 9-8.
Oh, come on, FG, why? I don't want to do the dance. I don't mind buying you dinner, but I don't want to do the freaking dance.
You were the one who suggested it, so
I
you have
know,
to
and I'm really hating
follow.
myself for it because you can see how they're actually transitioning into a tier 2 tower in mid, and looks like FG might not have much to defend this. Mirana is still at the top. Okay, he does TP down. Come on, get a good fight off. Eels onto Space Creator for now. The TP coming up from the Sand King still a little bit delayed though. Stampede will cover the tracks. But Rubik, he is still back at the end though, so he will TP away safely. So no death on the side of DBD there. A clean tier 1 tower as well as a 4-man kill.
Yeah, so we do see a dragon lance on the Mirana, which is
Correct.
rare. I have never seen a dragon lance on the Mirana before.
I believe the Mirana is going for more right click this time instead of the usual one that we see. We don't really see
Yeah, they
the
don't have any damage dealers. It's like just a Sand King, and Sand King doesn't do well with right clicks. His attack speed isn't that fast.
right. Moreover, Centaur already has the pipe up, so a lot of magical damage will be negated from FG. So I
And
believe they
then you
saw it
do have,
coming.
yeah, you do have the Rubik with the null field as well.
Yep, definitely. So the Sunstrike will, kill off a lot of the HP from Oli, but instantly heal up back with the Purification, and looks like they're gonna be knocking the tier 2 at the top lane. How will DBD actually reply to this? There is a blink
I
as
think
well as
they're
a
just gonna give
lasso.
it away.
Yeah,
I think they're
they
just
can't
gonna give it
defend
away.
this. Come
Yeah.
on, FG, come
They
on,
really
FG.
have to play around the chaotic offering. That's what I
Canosaurus,
feel. And
pen,
then you don't
pineapple,
have to
apple
defeat
pen.
it. They don't have the stampede as well.
I'm
So
just trying to throw you off for
okay,
now.
I'm just gonna keep quiet.
Oh no, don't be like that. Oh, looks like Quasar might not be so lucky here. Okay, so right now only the Shadow Demon
He does have his
might picked up.
stampede though. Oh. Here
Meanwhile,
it comes.
bottom lane. Oh, top lane Shadow Demon. Come on, now is the Centaur. Good trade for FG here. Gets a stomp off. Instantly TPs out. Can they cancel this? Yes, they can. The Burrow Strike as well as the Purification to follow will be enough. So 10-9 is the score. 20 minutes into the game.
Mhm. Mhm.
You're
Do
gonna
you hear?
dance. I don't care.
Do you hear the biasness in your casting now?
Come on, FG. We're gonna freaking win this.
One pro FG and one pro DVD.
Uh, well, this wouldn't have happened, if I just kept my mouth shut. Unfortunately, I just had to just challenge you there. Uh,
It's okay. I'm up for a challenge. Any day, Brian.
Oh, what were you saying like the past 20 minutes ago? No, Brian, I don't want to dance. Why did I say yes? And now you're like any day. Wow.
Alright, if you see a haste rune on the Omni Knight, I think he'll be able to take on this kill pretty easily.
Moonlight
He does
Shadow
have
being
backup
popped.
coming in.
Yeah, Moonlight Shadow. Looks like you want to go for the Bat Rider though. He has still quite a long way to go for his Firefly. Did you see Arrow in time? Nope, it's not gonna be on time. Meanwhile, Warlock will fall to the Omni Knight there. So at least they got one kill out of it.
Hmm.
So let's open up the charts. We can see in terms of net worth has been going down to almost even, and EXP heavily favoring DBD at the moment.
I think it's important for Invoker to get more items so that he can, and more levels as well, just to be more like throw more spells into the fights. So far FG definitely not able to fully take Invoker's damage if he's there to cast all his spells.
Yep, so
They're
right
just
now
not
at this
tanky enough.
moment, I would say FG is definitely not in the driver's seat. They are the one on the losing end at the moment. So what can they do in order to just turn things around for them? So far, I don't think we've actually seen many Guardian Angel being used.
Yeah. I don't think it's the right click damage that they're afraid of. They're just afraid of the chaotic offering. So it really okay, so let's say all of them get to be KB, then maybe yeah.
Very,
It would
very
be more
true.
favorable to them.
Yeah, there's not much right click though. So the last pick, Omni Knight, I'm not too sure what they're actually thinking of, seeing that they can't really utilize it. We can see Carrier of Feet just taunting the Mirana with the Stomp there.
Mm. He's not gonna care, he's just gonna stand there.
Yeah, he's just standing there like he's just manning up. Oh, he's now being forced stuff back, stomped up as well. Defensive disruption coming, but the chaotic offering already comes into the play here. Mirana looks to fall here, will definitely not survive this. And now the Omni Knight next to follow. Quasar M tries to just repel and run, but he just can't get off. 3 death already on the side of
I'm not
FG.
sure if you noticed, the Shadow Demon died to the Fatal Bonds here,
There
which
was
is
just so
sad.
much damage coming out from DBD.
Yeah.
Fatal Bonds.
You feeling it, Brian?
I'm just not gonna reply to that. I have nothing to say. FG. It's okay, FG. I still have hope in you. You can still come back from this. Let's open up the charts. Goal is still not that favorable, but EXP has been dripping down for over 5k. DBD, their supports, let's open up already at level 11. On the other hand, FG still at level 8 and 8. So they don't have the level 2 ultis just yet.
Yeah, I think for now DBD already has the required items to take fights.
Yep, and now we can see the Bat Rider moving in.
Oh,
Gets the lasso off maybe? No, lasso is still on cooldown. 12 seconds. Now Zergato might fall here. Please kill him, please kill him, please kill him. Starstorm to
what was
follow. He
he
died.
thinking? What was he thinking when he blinked in? Like he didn't have a lasso. Why did he blink in?
I'm not too sure, but it was at the cost of an epicenter though. So Sand King does not have
Yeah,
that in for another 90 seconds. And he's
yeah,
trying to
but he does
catch up.
have his he does have his scepter though. So I think that's the most important. Like, cause it will be more crowd control. And then you have caustic finale every time you borrow strike as well.
Right. So meanwhile, we can see Invoker in the bottom lane managed to take down the tier 2 tower earlier on. And now Dali looks to just farm up the creep wave, yeah.
Hmm.
Rubik has the Ether Lens. Okay, let's look at the item progression here. Warlock, halfway towards his scepter. Oh no. Dazzle has his 4 staff up and ready. Omni Knight, Mech, as well as a Yule Scepter. Marana, Manta already being purchased, as well as a Dragon Lance that he picked up earlier. Shadow Demon has a Ether Lens of his own as well, and looks to be, getting the 4 staff next.
For now, I think FG has to have more core damage items to actually. So I think so far because there are no BKBs on the side of DBD yet, so the burst damage that they want to do, like the purification burst, the shadow wave burst, as well as the barrel strike damage and the caustic finale damage. I think it's still possible for them to win against DBD. It really depends on how they are able to pull off all these combos.
Oh, but looks like Marana might actually fall here. He has been grave for now, but will it be enough to save him? Chaotic Offering being used yet again. Shadow Demon to fall. Dali moves in with the epicenter though, but it's gonna be enough. The chaotic meteor will kill him off here. And looks like Invoker is still hunting for more. Will he be able to find anyone? Sunstrike not on point, so looks like everybody will be able to survive here. I mean, what's remaining of FG, I mean. Oh, but
Uh-huh.
Cold Snap also being used now. It looks like he will fall here. So 4 death on the side of FG. Things are just not looking good for them and for me.
It's looking good for me.
Uh,
Definitely looking good for me. So good.
yeah, the last pick Omnanite, the GA just didn't really give much impact at all. You can see he only bothered to level to actually just put 1 point onto the GA.
Mm-hmm.
There's just so much magical damage coming out. They just can't hit high ground. I mean, they can push lanes pretty quickly, but they just can't reach high ground though. On the other hand, DBD don't really have much high ground sieging potential, seeing that they don't really have the best right clicks other than the Invoker.
But even so, it's like if the invoker goes in first, the rest can follow up very, very soon because you have the chaotic offering, then you have the stampede to run in. So I don't think there's anything that they have to be worried about, as like especially now that they have the Roshan, they have the Aegis.
Yep, and looks like Aegis will go to the Invoker here.
Yeah, he's the only one that is able to stand, like be able to stand in front lines, try to hit the towers, try to chip down the towers, and then try to run back out. If he doesn't make it back out, at least he does have the stampede. He has the hoof storm. You have the lasso waiting behind. You also have the chaotic offering waiting behind.
Yep, and you have the
So,
cold cheering for you too.
mm-hmm, you got
So now
it.
Oli looks to be just sieging the tier 3 towers for now. It will go down. Oh, look at all those misses, my goodness. Things are not even looking good for them. I mean, Dota don't even like them, and now we can see the Invoker blinking in, Tornado and the EMP to follow. Now lassoed back. The Omni Knight there. Will he manage to get out alive though? Rubik pulling him off a trick here. Lifting up the Mirana will fall. Meanwhile, Sand King moves in, blinks back out, and looks like Quasar M might be able to survive this. So 1 death on the side of DBD for now, but looks like things have not ended just yet. The Dazzle, will he be able to survive this? Greaves up, Dali channels his ultimate, gets the epicenter off onto the Warlock, but 1 more second before he gets the Chaotic Offering off, does deploy it, and now Omni Knight will fall. No, repel up for now. Space Creator now on very, very low health. So much things going on here. Carry of Feet gets a double edge up onto Dali. Will kill him off. And Oli now looks like he has no leap. But looks like DBD may not actually want to go for it, seeing how they're going to get the kill onto the Shadow Demon instead.
Yeah, that the invoker still had he just popped up with his Aegis. So and then we do see a buyback on the Sand King as well.
Yeah.
Uh, I think that was kind of a forced buyback because he doesn't have BOT, he cannot catch up to his team as soon as he wants to. So I think that buyback was a bit of a rushed one.
Yeah, seeing how they don't really have much structure to TP on either. Now Oli tries to go in with the Star Storm, gets the arrow out, not hitting much though. Very, very low on health, is graved up, gets the kill off onto the Rubik, but is it going to be enough though? I don't think it's a fair trade. Unguarded, very low on mana, can't really do much for now, but I think the right clicks will be enough to at least kill off the Dazzle here. The cold snap would definitely, just ensure the lockdown that they need. Now Dali looks to go for more. Burrow Strike not hitting anyone, now being stomped himself. He does not have buyback, he can't die here, Dali. Arrow hitting onto the Bat Rider for now. Right click is coming up, Oli trying to just kill off the Bat Rider. Indeed he does. Burrow Strike backed in Dali. But the upheaval is just slowing everybody down. Invoker with a godlike streak here. Let's
It's
open up
like
the...
the most important that the invoker survives because he's the one who's dealing the most damage onto the opponent.
Yep, if Invoker had more mana, I think things would have ended a lot worse for FG. Because
Mm-hmm.
Invoker, I believe he only had like, what, 1/5 of his mana the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, things are just looking grimmer and grimmer for them. Pull up the net worth graph, you can see 5k in favor of DBD and 10k in terms of EXP. FG has to pull off a miracle here if they actually want to win this. Let's talk about warding for now. They have no vision at all.
I think they were so caught up with the fight that it just dragged on too long, and then I don't think the supports had any time to do anything else other than try to keep their cause alive. So now Dazzle running around trying to put down some wards gives his team a lot more vision.
Things are not looking good at all. I'm constantly trying to find like a saving grace for FG, but in terms of hero composition, in terms of the team fights, the only saving grace they have is they have one tier 2 still standing.
Mhm.
Other than that, they're really at a bad disposition here. And now we can see the Invoker just constantly pushing out the bottom lane, has the BOTs just be so mobile. And does DBD want to actually smoke here? They are clumped up. And
We do see a Maelstrom picked up for Mirana.
yeah, and we see a Scepter being picked up for the Warlock too.
The Warlock already got his scepter the last fight. He
Oh,
already had
right,
two
right, right. I saw
golems.
two golems
Yeah,
earlier. True.
yeah. I think the Midas really helped a lot.
Yep.
Plus, with constantly winning the team fights, the Warlock really gained a lot from there.
Yep, you're just rubbing in my face, aren't you?
Yeah, obviously.
So now we can see the heal bomb just dealing so much damage to the creeps, but I wish it was the heroes instead. They're already moving up to the tier 3s, now wanting to go for one more try. The tier 3s are down. Rubik gets the repel off. Now the chaotic offering to follow as well. It's just melting.
Oh,
Two heroes already down the side of FG here. Lasso is still available if they want to go for it. Right now they're still under the cover of the Moonlight Shadow. And Unguarded looks to get the kill onto the Just Lucky. Meanwhile, Mirana is being lassoed up by the Bat Rider here. Does not have leap. Is still on cooldown for 3 more seconds. Only Star Storm to just buy a bit more time. 4 death on the side of FG. And the only sole survivor is Shadow Demon, and he does not have a TP.
mm-hmm. You see how sad it is for you now?
I know, it's just. It's not working out at all.
Really, the last pick, the Omni Knight pick was just wrong.
Do you feel that it probably got tilted there? Like
I think
first
so. They
game.
were like, oh, fuck this. And, sorry, no profanities.
Yeah, like
Screw this.
like the first game just really killed their morale and they just didn't really want to play. So we can see it
Maybe.
possibly could be a 5-man kill here, and Guarded looking for the kill to just like it. And indeed he will fall. Now Beyond Godlike.
Really, the first four picks were good for them. They had Shadow Demon they had a good setup. They had a good healing. They had good armor buff.
You
They
know,
had the stun.
and now we can see the epicenter also being deployed here and Guarded Half-Life now, but looks like Sand will be the first to fall though, if not the Omni Knight first. And now being pulled back once again, Lasso being used, Dazzle to oh, GG call.
Aha! Go DVD.
So DVD will take the game. Game 2, unfortunately, I
Everyone
lost.
heard it. Brian will be doing a pineapple apple pen video, and he's
Uh,
buying me dinner.
Shit.
Okay lah, I can do with you. I'm a nice person.
Okay, so this will be the end for the day. End for today, I guess. No more games until tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, stay tuned. I believe Catasaurus will you be casting with us tomorrow as well.
Tomorrow, no, I'm busy tomorrow.
Okay, no worries then. So I guess I'll be finding one more co-caster with me. If not, I'll be solo casting this game. It's been a pleasure,
Yep,
Catasaurus. Very very
yep.
fun to cast with you. Fortunately, I
You
lost
too.
the wager. Freaking pen
I'm
pineapple
looking
apple
forward
pen.
to dinner, Brian. I'm looking forward to dinner.
Okay, dinner is what you will get then. So that's it from us today. Once again, I am Mona Ming. My co-caster is Catasaurus. It's been a pleasure casting with all of you. Have a very good night.
Yep. Good night.
GG way.